Hello and good morning. Wait, good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Juliet Herman, and I have spent the last 6 months, I've had the privilege of spending the last 6 months with students from Gateway Community School, and we've been exploring a variety of social justice topics. We're going to tell you a little bit about how the program's going to work, but before that, I would just like my fantastic students to introduce themselves. Take a step forward.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Alex. I go to Gateway Community High School.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I'm 16 and I'm a junior at Gateway Community School.
Hi, my name is Darren Silva and I'm a junior at Gateway Community School.
We actually have one member of our Journey for Justice community who couldn't be with us here today. His name is Angel Acosta, and this is kind of in his honor. So, welcome. We're going to get started in just a moment. Thank you. So I'd like to bring out my partners in crime, Miss Irene Silbert and Mr. George Gabriel. To tell you a little bit about this project and set the context a little bit. The three of us decided to take on something that has never been done before. We did a project with students, not only from different schools, but from 3 different districts. We launched a project-based learning pilot. So, Gateway Community School social justice students, Thousand Oaks High School's honors digital media students, and Santa Susana stagecraft students took on this big semester-long project, and what you are going to see today is the culmination or the exhibition of all of those efforts. I'm going to let Mr. Gabriel and Ms. Silbert have a word.
Hi everybody. So when we started this thing, it actually started off in San Diego. We did this high-tech high project-based learning where the 3 of us were put together, and we had to come up with a project, and this was the project that we came up with. At the time, we thought it was, we had these ideas. We thought it was like this great idea, we're going to do this, this, and this. As time progressed, we realized it morphed into something completely different, but that's part of the process, and it's actually, we're totally happy with the way it turned out. We just didn't know what was going to happen. But what happened was, we got together there, we brought this together, and the thing that we wanted to model in career tech education was that my class is video production, essentially, and her class essentially is stagecraft, and her class is social justice. So we treated them like our clients. They were our clients, and I emphasized to my class that we're a production company. All we're trying to do is convey whatever our client wants. And so that was our whole purpose when we kept on going. We kept on beating it up and beating up that idea that we're just here to service our client and to present the best possible product at the end. And then in turn, essentially, well, I'll let you speak for yourself. But one of the things that we did here is we had a launch party, and we'll show you the launch footage in a second. But this is about identities. This is about each person has their own voice. And one of the things we did in the launch party is we had everyone decide to make their name however they wanted. If it was a nickname, like, most people don't know my real name is Andrew, but everybody calls me George. So I put George. And then everybody gave a logo. So for me, I maybe would have put a guitar, but somebody else had some other idea. And so what we did is we videoed everybody at the launch party here. And we actually made a video. So those 2 things we're going to show you. We're going to show you the launch video of them doing all those, and then we're going to show you their individual things, their individual logos for their identity. I'm going to hand this over to Irene.
So yeah, it's been a wonderful journey, and I know the stagecraft students thought it was terrific too. And we had a lot of brainstorming sessions. We're the final presentation. We're the venue. We're the place that shows the videos that the client has hired the production company, and we're a part of the production company by providing the venue and any of the artistic things that would be in the venue, meaning this theater. One of the brainstorming things that the stagecraft students came up with was to look up the 3 topics of environmental justice, mass incarceration, and equity in education, and find quotes and put them to an art piece that would be taped to each seat in this theater. So in front of you, you will have a quote with an art piece that is for you to keep, and every single one of the stagecraft students from all the 5 periods of stagecraft, that was a challenge for us. How do we authentically get all the students to be involved in a project-based learning situation where the project has the relevance of the social justice class and the media class, and now with us presenting. So those quotes are for you, and as I said, they represent those 3 topics.
And so, we present to you now the launch video, which is just a little video of what happened the day of the launch. We're going to step aside here. So that was the footage of the launch, and then we took a video that day of the launch of everybody's individual logos. So we're going to show that to you as well.
That I scribbled on my paper. Well, basically, because I'm a happy spirit, all the scribbles be like, I'd like to be doing everything or like whatever. Yeah, that is it.
My name is Alicia Magana. My symbol is a Deathly Hollow symbol from Harry Potter. The reason I chose this symbol is because of my love for stories and like writing, and also because I'm a huge geek, and this is just part of one of the fandoms that I'm in.
Hi, my name is Bryce Potter, and I drew this logo because it's my initials BP, and I thought of the Great Gatsby logo, and I thought it looked cool, so copyright.
Hi, my name is Kat Staples. I drew bright flashing dots in an underlayer of tech and stagecraft. Tech and stagecraft means a lot to me because they're not always visible, but we do help out with that.
Hi, my name is Chris, and this is my logo. The lights on the bottom represent like filmmaking and storytelling, and also tech, which I'm like an aspiring lighting designer. The piano is something I play and I'm really passionate about. I play music, I play jazz, and the notes around the camera also represent that. Here's the camera. Like, I love photography and I love taking photos and capturing images in time. And this ring right here, this represents the one ring from Lord of the Rings, because I just really like the story and everything. And also J.R.R. Tolkien.
Hi, my name is CJ, and my logo is a heart because I think it's important to do what you love.
Hi, my name is Crystal, and then I drew a bunch of random stuff because I'm kind of a random person. So FAME is the event I'm working on. It's a music festival that I'm coordinating, so that's a big part of my life right now. And then I'm also in the performing arts, so I'm in dance, and I'm also in the tech department here. And also I like cats and corn.
Hi, my name is Donna, and I drew balloons, and inside the balloons I wrote little things that kind of represent me and what I like doing. In one of them I drew about stagecraft, which is something I do at school and I really enjoy and I hope to pursue in a career. Also I drew dance in one of the balloons, which is something I enjoy as a hobby. And friends, family, and my pets, just all things that kind of make up who I am.
Hi, my name is Denver. This is my laptop, my speakers, and my keyboard at home. I make music. I'm on SoundCloud. Follow me at Defector7.
Hello, my name is Darren Silva. I drew a picture of Surfside. My friend has a tattoo of a sunset. And I like going to the beach and getting water.
Hi, my name is Eder. I'd like to talk about this logo that I created to represent my identity a little bit. In the logo I drew is a cassette tape, and that just represents my love of music, especially more older music, like not like classical, but like music from the 80s and stuff. I like analog a lot. I prefer to work with analog when I'm recording my own music and stuff because it's more interesting, it's funner. I like the sound better. On my logo, for the design I drew two mountains. It represents the outdoors. I love the outdoors. I'm a Boy Scout since I was 8 years old. Plan on going to the Park Service, the National Park Service, and working as a park ranger. I drew a bicycle. I like to ride fixed gear bikes. I like to fix up bikes, just like bikes. On the top it says Food, which is an album by a rapper named MF Doom. It kind of represents my love of music, hip hop music, and also the fact that I like food. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hi, my name is Emily, and this is my logo. I drew a book because I love books, and I love how they bring pictures and stories to life. I make movies in my head when I read them, and they open up a new experience for me.
Hi, my name is Hayden. Most of my friends, actually all my friends, call me Leonardo. That's my name. I drew an eye floating in the ocean because I like to go in the ocean and there's an eye. And I said, there is no I, with quotes, because I spelled I ironically. In team, because there's no I in team. And then over here, I was going to draw an eye, but I didn't, which represents my artistic ability. And that's it.
Hi, my name is Ian, and I drew a skull that is beautiful looking. I simply love art and all kinds of art. And I drew a skull because I think death is chaotic and mysterious, and made it look beautiful because I think the dark, mysterious places is where beauty comes out.
Hi, my name is Jerry Navarro. I like swimming, fishing. I'm a very happy person, and I like sharing on social media.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I drew a tent because I love camping, and it's like one of my favorite things to do.
Hi, my name is Kayla, and all my friends call me Kayla. My logo is my initials with a horse jumping through the L. I ride horses, and I have horses since I was very, very young. And on the bottom it says Frisky Business because that's what me and my friends call our production company. So, that's all.
My name is Kelsey. I go by Kels, I guess. And I drew a rose because it's simplistic and classic. And I just like how, I just think it's pretty. So.
Hi, my name is Kristen Ivy. My friends call me Kai. And I did this logo because it's all of my favorite things. Those include theater, tech, and dance.
Hi, my name is Maya, and for my logo I have aperture rings, and because I'm into photography, a light because I do tech and or known as stagecraft, and then music because I also play the violin and I love listening to music. Then I have a film because I'm also into film, such as La La Land, and a rose just because it's pretty.
My name is Mason Frieden. People refer to me as Gary Winthorpe, and I like waves and the beach, and I like to surf, so maybe this can be some sort of representation of ocean.
Hi, my name is Max Tidco, and I put a fish, coral reef, mountains, camera, and kayaking, because I'm passionate about like environmental conservation, and that's something that I value, as well as my pet fish Oliver.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I drew a rainbow with Skittles falling down because I think he's sweet and all happy, but I also drew the lightning bolts because not everything is pretty, so.
My name is Michael Wattis, and my logo is boxing gloves because I enjoy boxing. It helps me stay out of trouble and keeps me active.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I identify with the cloud because I'm always daydreaming and tech, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Nick, and I drew a sun and a happy face and a dog because it just came in my head.
Hi, I'm Nick. I go to Thousand Oaks High School, and this is my logo. I chose this logo because at one point in my life I was mentally unstable and saw a lot of things, and every day I would see this logo, and I just kind of went from there.
Hi, my name is Paige, and my logo is a dress because in the future I want to work in the fashion industry, and I'm also the head of costumes at Santa Susana High School.
Hi, my name is Rafael. I like to design lighting shows for the school. I joined tech, and this is my logo.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I identify with the tree because once the tree finishes growing, it's eventually cut down and used for something else. It's kind of like how I never truly specialize in one thing. I like to branch out to other things.
My name is Sky, and my logo is clay because I'm a claymation artist, and I put on googly eyes because I always carry them with me, and I think that they're really cute. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Susana, and this is my logo because flowers represent like blossoming, and I'm constantly trying to strive to be better. And then I put the hearts because I'm always trying to be a welcoming person to all.
That was the first day that we all met each other when we did that. So now we're actually going to show you the products that we came up with, the 3 videos. We chose to tackle 3 topics and go pretty in depth. It was an interesting experience, but these are the fruits of our labors. The first one is environmental justice. Enjoy.
Environmental justice is the fair treatment of all people, regardless of race, national origin, or income, for cleanliness of air, earth, and water.
People are being harmed by pollution from the factories and other sources that serve to degrade the community's environment. The people that get affected the most have less power, so they feel like their voice does not matter. Therefore, they don't say anything about it. The people who work on climate change are mostly white men in academia, while the people suffering the most, bearing the consequences of pollution, are primarily people of color and low-income communities. Low-income neighborhoods have a higher burden of pollution, while in the wealthy neighborhoods, citizens enjoy the benefit of trees, parks, gardens, and playgrounds. 3 environmental organizations released a study on the demographics of 134 million U.S. residents living in vulnerability zones of over 3,400 chemical facilities, with 3.8 million living in the fence line zones closest to potential harm, with the least time to react to a catastrophe event. A key finding was the percentage of blacks in the fence line zones is 75% greater than for the U.S. as a whole, while the percentage of Latinos in the fence lines is 60% greater than the U.S. as a whole.
Right.
something I learned about environmental justice is I learned there's racism in this. In my opinion, this is bad because they say the white people, they live where there's a lot of money, and they keep their place clean, safe, healthy to breathe in. As the lower income people, as like Mexicans, African Americans, they live in the neighborhood where it's rough. You're breathing in dangerous toxins every day. There's trash everywhere. Factories where they release pollution like right in your face. And I figure that's bad.
In order to create real change, the people most impacted must begin to speak up. We must take a leadership role in environmental justice in our own neighborhoods.
So although that video was fairly short, that represents about 6 to 8 weeks worth of background work and constant study in order to get there. So that the videos were completely written by the social justice students, and then the images added by the video production students. Next, we present mass incarceration.
Equity in education, stories from Journey for Justice. Equity in education means that color, race, and socioeconomic status should not interfere with access to education. Another important factor is inclusion, which means holding all students to the same high standards, not lowering expectations for some students who teachers and administrators believe cannot succeed. Equity and equality are not the same, because equality means to treat everyone fairly, but equity means to give everyone what they need to be successful. Race, gender, language, poverty, and access to technology are all issues of equity. If we are committed to the success of every child, we must acknowledge the uneven playing field that exists for many. ELLs, students with special needs, children experiencing trauma or relentless poverty, and students of color who confront unconscious biases about their capacity. While countless advancements in civil rights have led to greater equality, many would contend that a greater understanding or awareness of inequity does not mean that inequities no longer exist. Students of color tend, on average, to be disproportionately represented in lower level classes with lower academic expectations and possibly lower quality teaching, which can give rise to achievement gaps or cycles of low expectation in which the stereotypes about academic performance of minorities are reinforced and perpetuated because they are held to lower academic standards or taught less than their peers.
My name is Fatima Regis. I am 16 years old. I started my high school pretty bad. I got suspended for almost a whole week on the second day of school. I wore a crop top to school and I got pulled into the office. In my defense, the shirt wasn't really showing everything. It was a long sleeve, and I was wearing high-waisted jeans. You could have only seen my belly if I put my hands up, but it wasn't like I was going to walk around with my hands up. The assistant principal, Mr. S, was talking to me, telling me I should take it off because it wasn't school appropriate. I kept arguing about taking it off, so he sent me with the female assistant principal, Miss C. She was nobody to talk to me about what I should and not to wear to school because she was wearing a super short skirt and showing cleavage. She didn't try and talk to me calmly about the situation. After I kept denying to put on a loaner, she asked me to put my hands up to check how short it was. She looked at me and then started tugging on my shirt, saying it's too short, take it off, so I pushed her. She got scared, I'm guessing, and walked away. And a couple minutes later, I saw an officer, a counselor, the main principal, and the rest of assistant principals come in. Next thing you know, I got suspended for 3 days. After that, the office was always on me, which I mean that for every little thing, they would either suspend me, have principal suspension, or lunch detention. Once I got caught ditching, so they suspended me for a whole week. I had been known for skipping class, so every time they saw me, they would think I was ditching, which I'd have to admit, at times I was. But there was this one day I arrived late to school, and the security said they saw me walking out during school hours. I had nobody to prove that I actually did come late and didn't ditch. My consequence for that was having lunch detention for the whole week. Another time was when I wasn't allowed to go to the basketball courts because there were some girls there that didn't get along with my group of friends. That was where they were selling chips, and I wanted some, so I didn't care. I still walked over there. All of a sudden, I hear my name all over the school, saying to the security to stop me, so of course, I got stopped. I would have gotten suspended, but my Oasis teacher helped me and talked to the assistant principal. I got in-school suspension for 3 days. The most dumb thing I ever got suspended for was for laughing at a police officer. He said I was being disrespectful. I only got suspended for like a day or two. There was this one situation that got me really mad. While walking to class, I got stopped by the main principal because she said I hadn't showed up to class. I told her that that's where I was heading at, but she wanted to keep on talking to me. I still kept saying I was heading to class, so then she let me go. Then while I was in class, I saw an administrator come in and I knew he was there for me. He called my name and took me to the office. They put me in Miss C's office again, the one I had pushed earlier in the year. She told me that the principal told her that I had pushed or touched her. That got me really mad because it wasn't true at all. She was putting out her hands for me not to go to class, but not once did I touch her. It got me mad, so I started crying and walked out of Miss C's office, and she's standing there talking with my dad. My dad came in to tell me I was suspended for the rest of the week, and now suspended over Christmas break and the 3 days after Christmas break. When I came back from suspension, I had my meeting with Mr. G to talk about my transfer to another. Their first choice was A's, because even though I was behaving bad, I still had good grades. So I had a meeting with A's, and they looked at my file, and they said they would call me back, but they didn't. Then Mr. S called me to the office and told me that A's didn't want to accept me because I was too violent. So then I had another meeting with Mr. G, and our second choice was Gateway. Then a week later, I had the meeting with Gateway, and I had the meeting on Friday and started the next Monday. Now, at Gateway things are different because I really can tell that the teachers and adults actually care about me and pay attention to me. They actually care about my feelings and my future. I feel like in a school you are special and like people really understand you.
This is a complicated issue. We need to work together to make sure that schools are committed to equity, especially in low-income disadvantaged schools. Governments can prevent school failure and reduce dropout using 2 parallel approaches: eliminating educational policies and practices that hinder equity and targeting low-performing disadvantaged schools. Portland Public Schools is committed to academic excellence and personal success for all students. Central to this commitment is educational equity. If you attend school in the San Francisco Unified School District, their commitment to equity is clear. SFUSD's Office of Equity promotes and ensures equity, social justice, and academic success for all SFUSD students, so that each student can achieve her or his maximum potential in a positive and safe learning environment. Follow in Portland Public Schools and San Francisco Unified footsteps. Advocate for districts and schools to address equity. Involve local leadership to develop equity plans. Engage student government and clubs to create awareness around this issue.
And now, mass incarceration.
The United States today has the world's largest population of imprisoned humans. Some 2.2 million people are incarcerated in state and federal jails and prisons, a 500% increase over the past 30 years.
The primary seats of mass incarceration are war on drugs, school to prison pipeline, and prison industrial complex.
These separate forces have converged to create our current unjust situation. The war on drugs produced government policies restricting the making, selling, and use of any dose of psychoactive drugs. The bill's most consequential action is the creation of mandatory minimum penalties for drug offenses. Mandatory minimums have become increasingly criticized over the years for promoting significant racial disparities in the prison population. The war on drugs contributes towards mass incarceration because people are receiving lengthy prison sentences for nonviolent crimes under these policies. The school to prison pipeline occurs when students engage in behaviors seen as dangerous during school and as a result end up in jail. Zero tolerance policies criminalize minor infractions in schools where police are stationed that lead to students being jailed for behavior that should be handled inside the school. School children who receive heightened punishment are more likely to drop out, less likely to be employed, and are at greater risk for incarceration. Students who are being expelled for small offenses become hardened, embittered, and fall behind in their studies. Eventually, they decide to drop out, or even worse, commit crimes in their communities. African American students, for instance, are 3.5 times more likely than their white classmates to be suspended or expelled, according to a nationwide study by the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights. Black children constitute 18% of students, but they account for 46% of those suspended more than once. Schools should lower the consequences for behavior, not letting them get away with it, but specifically getting a suspension or maybe a ticket and not being sent to jail. Restorative justice is a cooperative approach to misbehavior. Instead of being punished, the student is given an opportunity to right the harm. The prison industrial complex is a term used to describe the overlapping interests of government and industry that use surveillance, policing, and imprisonment as solutions to economic, social, and political problems. A wealthy retired investment banker founded a company called Corrections of America, now called Core Civic. Core Civic profited $222 million in 2015 from owning and operating prisons, jails, immigration detention centers, and halfway houses. We should have programs to help the prisoners contribute positively to society so they can transition to a normal life and not live like prisoners anymore. Society would be better off investing more money in rehabilitation than we currently do in building prisons.
I'm Madison Terriers, and this is my story. When I was at my old school, I got kicked out for fireworks. I got the fireworks from a friend. I thought it would be fun to blow them up at school because I already blew it up where I live and it sounded like gunshots and people were scared. I thought it was funny. The next day, I had some left. Without thinking, I put them in my pocket and left for school. During lunch, I remembered that they were in my pocket. I thought it would be funny to light them, so I did. I put them in the trash can because I knew it would be louder, so more people would hear it and think it was funny, or maybe be scared. I waited until the end of lunch, then I lit it up with the lighter in my pocket, and then threw it in a trash can, and I walked away smiling. Then the bell rang, and I walked out to class. Everyone was going to class, but it was minimum day schedule, so everything was different, and I went to the wrong class. When I was walking to the right class, I was stopped by an administrator who said, "You set off the firecracker, come with me." I went to his office and he told me we were waiting for the officer on campus. Didn't find anything on me, proved it was me. I argued with them and saying it wasn't me. They showed me the surveillance video, but it didn't show my face. They said that person has the same outfit as me. I still claim I didn't do it even though I did. Then after about an hour I told them it was me. Then they wanted to know the other guy who was with me. If you don't tell us, you will suffer all the consequences. I don't care. They called my mom, told her I broke fireworks, suspended me for 10 days. When I went back, they suspended me again and told that I was up for expulsion. Then when I got back, there was a meeting and they told me I was expelled. No more hearing, no arguing. Principal S told my mom that it was considered a bomb, and even though she said I shouldn't be expelled, they did it anyway. For the rest of the school year, I just stayed home. The next school year, I came to Gateway. The district told me and my mom that Gateway, when independent studies, were my only options. I came to Gateway, it was fun and great. There is no homework. I like that there are short classes. You go home earlier, and all the teachers are nice. I know that all the adults at Gateway care about me. I did not feel like that at my old school. I will be graduating on time this June.
Since much of the criminal issues begin with students getting in trouble at school, students and their parents can advocate for restorative justice practices to be put in place in every school. Students who have first-hand knowledge of restorative practices have verified their effectiveness. Research has also concurred with the findings of the effectiveness of restorative practices.
Thank you so much. If I could have everyone who is involved in the project in any way, students, teachers, adults, come up onto stage to be acknowledged. So again, you know, the videos were fairly brief, but there was so much work that went behind it, behind the scenes. The amount of time that we looked at the various issues that we were looking at, the amount of time that the video students took to carefully craft the videos, and the amount of time that the stagecraft students took to present an amazing experience for you today. So thank you again for coming.
It's also, looking back over the whole process, it was kind of a logistical nightmare because all of our classes were at different times. And so to see it all come together and just know that my Thousand Oaks students and the Gateway students and stagecraft here, students are right here, and just to bring it all together, it's nice to see that everything came together in the end, despite all the logistical things. We learned a lot in the process, and but I think what was even more important is that I know that my students, and I know your students, we began to engage in the same dialogue as the Gateway students. So we had a lot of really important discussions in our classroom in regard to the content. So, and we were able to meet even with the students later on and kind of come together. But it was a very special project, the way that it all kind of came together. And despite the difficulties that we did have with the time and logistics and all that. So in the end, well, here we are.
And I do want to say a thank you to, she's not here, our mentor, Alicia from High Tech High in San Diego. We started all of us way back in October at the first conference that we went to, where we got introduced to High Tech High's project-based learning type of format, and then we went from there. And Alicia, we had hoped would be here. She kept us on track by Skyping and Google Hangouts, and I got to thank the Stagecraft kids for helping me get on to Google Hangout. That was always really a wonderful thing to have happen. And it was really nice to have the students engaged in topics and have the discussion about topics that the social justice class was working on way at the other end of the county. Yeah.
I always like to take a step back just a little and just look at the number of students who were involved in this very crazy pilot program, and just give them another round of applause and appreciation for all of their work. We thought, although we have not told any of our students that we were going to do this, we thought we'd have a brief Q&A if anyone has questions about the project for individual students or for any of us. Anyone? And
Yes, Mr. Kohlmeyer!
I'd like to go through the students that are up there, talk about the highlights of the whole project for them.
Probably my favorite thing about doing it was like meeting with all the other schools, like at the beginning and the launch party. And when we got to go filming with the kids from Gateway, that was really cool. Because a lot of the time you don't get to like mingle with other schools. You know, in high school you're just like at your school, so that was cool. I like that.
My favorite part about doing this project was just meeting other kids and the food. My favorite part of the project was drawing some of the illustrations for equity and equality, environmental justice, and mass incarceration.
They're like, no, don't make me speak. Thank you behind the scenes. Yes, sir. Dr. D.
So congratulations, it's a great project. And you guys took on a really tough set of issues. So I have a question and I'd like to get a response. First off, let me congratulate the people with the content, the folks who told their story, and the way you guys put it all together was great. So acknowledge it. What I'd like to have a specific question with the young man who was in Gutierrez, I think. And because I just want to acknowledge what a tough story something like that has to tell. So what do you think you learned about yourself with that? And then I have a question for anyone on the stage craft. Are we supposed to do something with these papers here?
They're for you.
Okay, all right. And I'd like to hear from the production company, one student respond to what they felt they learned. We're working on those stories, because those stories are powerful. Yeah.
All right. Something I learned about the experience was don't get caught.
I've definitely done my job. All right, we'll move on to the production company.
Alright, so one thing that surprised me was how the people at the school that these kids were at, the faculty didn't seem very understanding, which surprised me. I thought they'd be more something helpful. Disappointing.
Hey everyone, please feel free to take as many as you like the quotes that are posted on the back of every seat. We Stagecraft worked really hard on them, and there are some really great quotes out there. Thank you.
One thing that we do realize that in these classes, public speaking is not necessarily one of the strengths of all of our students. But I do think, to kind of go back to your, what do we learn? We had some really deep conversations in our classroom. And some of them were like, hey, this is what the client wants. And yet we had questions about, well, is this true? You know, are these facts? You know, and we had a lot of back and forth between the two classes about making sure that whatever we put out there had integrity, and made sure that's why there's a lot of footnotes on a lot of the quotes, and the discussions we had were really deep, and I think my students were able to really understand the issues even more, especially seeing it from another perspective. So, you know, it was kind of a beautiful thing to have across county, and just having us get together and really just face to face meet each other, understand each other. Yeah.
Did we answer everything, Dr. D?
Any other questions?
We have a couple more attending.
Finding solutions, yes. That's one of the things that we always would like to do, is be proactive, find solutions, start petitions, talk to your friends. Some of the advice that you saw in the video, there was actually some things that you could, as an individual, start on your own to be part of the solution. And yeah, I think also writing your congressperson, that really does have a lot to do.
So one of the pieces that we spoke about a lot in my class is that awareness. You know, we are of the next generation. You are the up and coming generation. Your awareness of these issues is really key. And I think that each student in different areas has a different level of awareness. And part of what the goal of today was to create awareness in you, so that you would continue to ask questions and continue to foster the discussion and the conversation in whatever next steps you might personally take. And that is a really powerful piece to take with you and take home with you, and to move into adulthood with you. So that's really what we wanted to make sure that you understood.
Yeah, I just have one more thing to add to that too. And to your point, one of the things that we emphasized as a production company was action steps. What can I do? It's one thing to become aware. The other thing is to take that awareness and actually activate the awareness. And so we tried to emphasize that at the end of each video. You'll notice there's these words like get involved, you know, figure out what to do, that kind of thing. Because knowledge is the first step, and once you know, then you have to do something with that knowledge. And so this is Identity's Voices of Justice. In order to be a voice of justice, you have to speak. So that's something that we're trying to emphasize in all this. Yeah, question?
Hi, I work for a congressman during the last election.
I'm sorry.
But I have a question, a major question. What do you do if your congressman is not one of the people that will take a letter? And where can I send a petition, or where can I go to take action? I have nowhere to go. Where do I go to take action?
Well, your government representatives are there for you, so they should be taking your information. I spent a little time working for the federal government, so if you would like to connect with me after, maybe we can strategize some other ways for you to connect.
Okay, so I know that was the bell, and we're going to, we'll continue some questions. Gateway, if you'll stay here, please, and Thousand Oaks, if you'll stay here. And the rest of you, Santa Sue, thank you so much for coming, Santa Sue. So, Gateway, remain seated. Thousand Oaks, remain seated. Thank you, dance, the entire dance department, stagecraft, and Mr. Kohlmeyer's English class. Thank you guys for coming so much.
I don't know. For our visitors and for Gateway students, we do have a reception out front. So as soon as the other students, Susana will go ahead and dismiss you to a reception. We have actually have lunch for you around the corner. So, and thank you again for coming. Thank you to all of our dignitaries, and thank you to Gateway students. We really appreciate your coming all the way up today.